I told you anything you didn't already know as far as the structure.
Are you going to go over examples of rehabilitation for the bench?
Yeah. We'll go over that back based upon the injuries. Now, I put this chart in here for a couple different reasons. The biggest reason is everybody always asks me, why do you do 8 sets of 2? Why do you do 8 sets of 3? And well, we go by Frelklin's charts, which is actually in the management of the training of the weightlifters, which studies how many repetitions you can actually effectively do in each percentage zone. Okay, this is what Louis used to put this program together. Okay, somebody didn't just come out and say, hey, Louis, 8 sets of 2. No, he went to these charts, and back then it was a little bit different because we trained at a little higher percents. But he went to this chart, he figured what percent range he needs to work in, what the optimal number of repetitions is, what the optimal number of lifts, or optimal range of lifts is, and if you plug it in there, you're seeing exactly where we are. And at the time the bench press was about 70%, if you read the older articles, and you take that times 8 times 3, puts you at the far end of the 24 repetition range. But keep in mind, this chart was made for Olympic weightlifters. So we can push it towards the end range on certain things. The squat is falling right around the same range. When we start getting into the circle maximal phase with all the bands and the high percents that we're going to talk about, we had a problem. We couldn't finish workouts. We were getting beat down. Well, we had to go back to the chart again. We were like, oh man, we're training in the 90% range. And we're still doing, 16 repetitions. You can only handle 4 to 10. So bam, we knock it down to 5 sets, we're good to go. So the chart works. The stuff works. That's where it came from. This whole system came from him reading about max effort method, dynamic effort method, and looking at these charts. Also tells you that over a period of a workout, you probably don't want to have more than, I would say, 4 repetitions over 90% on a max effort day. I don't think anybody could do it anyhow. Now, for general training parameters, and I use this as general because this chart has been printed 100,000 times, and I put it out only to help you guys out. I don't totally agree with it. If you're totally clueless about supplemental and accessory sets and reps, okay, these are the ranges you're probably going to want to stick in, are going to be the hypertrophy and the power range. Or, I'm sorry, the hypertrophy and the strength range, as far as the sets, reps, and load. The reason I think this chart's a little off base is because if you've ever looked at Olympic weightlifters before who pretty much only do lower repetitions, how come their hip flexors stick up to here? The hypertrophy in their glutes, hamstrings, and hip flexors is amazing. You look at the guys from our gym, most of our repetitions are done under 5. So how do we get so damn big? This says here for hypertrophy, your reps got to be 8 to 15. We don't do very, very much work in that range really at all. So how do we get so big? What I think you have to do with your supplemental and your accessory exercises is to do whatever you know works best. Trust me, if you think about it, All right. If I ask somebody, what's your best range for triceps sets, reps? 8 to 10. You feel that works for you? Mm-hmm. What works for you?
Probably 3 to 5s. 3
to 5s. See? Why would I tell him 8 to 10? Why would I tell him 3 to 5? They already know. But the thing is, because I'm up here speaking, I could tell him, 3 to 5. He'd be like, man, yeah, that's what I got to do. Don't do that. Okay, stick to the things that you know work repetition and set-wise, because every one of us is a little bit different. When you're stuck, then you try something different. Okay, you want to move it around a little bit. You don't always want to keep it the same either. Everybody kind of clear on that? Because that was one of the things that was That was from the beginning with the sets and the reps. You go by what you know. And if it's not working for you, change. That's pretty simple. You gotta try a different range. All right, we'll take another break.